Go ahead, Artifact.
I'm just curious what your take is on the rumors of Tom Brady coming to be the head coach. I mean, he had kind of an off year this year in the NFL. He threw a total of 4 interceptions the whole year. I think maybe it's time for him to retire. Hang up the cleats. What do you think?
I think they want to season Tom Brady a little bit more.
Makes sense.
Kind of like what they did with Jim Harbaugh. They let him.
Smart thinking.
Yeah, they let him season himself at some other universities and.
Still a little green.
Yeah, so Tom Brady might be down the road. He might be down the road.
He'd be an awesome Michigan coach.
And I was thinking, maybe
20,
Chad Henne too
30.
coming in coaching the quarterbacks. You never know though. You never know.
Other than Harbaugh, the fact he's the quote Michigan man, what makes everyone think he's going to be this messiah for the University of Michigan? I'm kind of curious about this.
Because he's something different, honestly.
That is all it is.
He is a great coach. Don't you think? Or
how do you, no. Actually,
no, he is. That's true.
Actually, I think Jim Harbaugh is a good coach. But if you're going to go by, he's the messiah. Do you know what his record is at Stanford? Other than this year, he had 1 winning season.
Yeah, but
for sure.
But
Stanford's horrendous this year. I mean,
Stanford was an unacceptably bad team before he came there.
Hold on 1 second, Tip. I'm going to go ahead and get Harbaugh's stats up here.
They were 1-11 the year before.
8-5.
Stanford's also not a very easy team to coach when you have.
I agree with that.
I mean, their academic standards, which they should be commended for, do make it hard to, pick good football players.
I have Harbaugh's stats here. His first year in 2007 at Stanford, he went 4-8, 3-6 in the Pac-10, 5-7 the second year, 4-5 in the Pac-10, 8-5 overall, then 6-3 in the Pac-10 in 2009. Then last year or this past season, he went 12-1 overall, 8-1 in the Pac-10. Prior to that, though, he was 29-6 at San Diego. He went 11-1 in 2006, 11-1 in 2005, and 7-4 in 2004. Prior to him taking over Stanford, let me go ahead and get those.
They were 1-11.
Yeah, they're 1-11.
And you can call those losing seasons, but Rich Rod would kill for that kind of improvement.
And Rich Rod,
year after year.
Rich Rod took. I mean, yeah, I know he didn't have he didn't have his players at the University of Michigan.
But in his third year, he had the same record as Jim Harbaugh at University of Michigan.
Yeah.
So who's to say he's not going to win 10 or 11 games next year?
He took over. Rich Rod took over.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm against Jim Harbaugh coming here, but people they fall in love with people, especially at University of Michigan. If they went to the school, really nothing else matters, which is fine. But it's sometimes be very careful what you wish for. And I'm telling you, one of the reasons I don't think Harbaugh is going to come here and what broke down over the weekend is Brandon told him, we want you here for 5 years. You're not going to the NFL. And he said, you know what? Probably not going to happen. So I can't sign that contract.
I actually think I don't necessarily think it's Brandon saying this. I think it's Jim Harbaugh saying to himself, I'm not going to do this unless I'm going to be Michigan's coach for the rest of my life.
I agree. I think
it's him putting that on himself.
But I still think it's a contract. If you want Harbaugh, and I've said it from the beginning, it's fine. You're going to like him because he's tough. Everybody's going to love him. I'll like him, but be ready for every single offseason before Michigan goes to a bowl game, before the Ohio State game even. Where is he going next? We've heard 14 rumors. This is going to happen year in and year out. Mark my words. And if you are willing to put up with that every year, like you did, like State did with Perlis, they did with Saban, all these other schools, fine. But just remember, that is exactly what's going to happen here in this scenario. There is no question about it. And it's like, if that's what you want, that's great.
One looming issue here that I think is kind of worth noting, that maybe this shouldn't have as big a part in this as it does, but as we all know, there's a ton of Michigan slappies who were unhappy with the Rich Rod hire because he was not a Michigan man.
From the very beginning.
You heard that like crazy, but in their defense, they didn't hire that Michigan man, and it was kind of a disaster.
Yep.
So now when it comes time to hire another coach, because Rich Rod is probably gone, and I've been a big Rich Rod defender in the past, but I'm kind of done with that game. I mean, I'm not saying I totally want him gone, but it's kind of he has made himself kind of hard to defend.
I agree totally.
And,
we both were, and I can't defend him anymore.
Sure.
Either.
I mean, after that bowl loss, I mean, a lot of coaches would get fired after that bowl loss, regardless of what they've done before that. So, there is that looming problem that look what happened last time we didn't hire a Michigan man.
And I'm not even arguing it, Squirrel. I'm not even trying to be contrary here. Just remember what you're getting if you get Harbaugh. I'm telling you, and if all these Michigan fans, you know, Adam, especially you want them, which is great. This is what you're going to put up with every single year, probably half the season every year.
I didn't say every single year, or I don't think it's going to be every single year.
Oh, sure it will be.
Well, no.
If he has success here, absolutely.
If he's successful, but if he comes in and doesn't turn the program around right away, NFL's not going to want him yet.
And then we're going to want to get rid of him. So, what do you want?
Well, no, because you got to give him his 3. For me, the default amount of time that a coach has to turn around a team is 3 years. To me,
I disagree with that.
It's 3 years. I don't care if it's the NFL or if it's the NCAA.
I disagree as well.
Totally disagree. 3 in NFL, 5 in college.
Exactly. So you don't even have time for your
5 in college.
Absolutely, it's always been.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely.
No, Adam,
you are absolutely crazy.
You are absolutely have time crazy. For your kids to get all the way through.
What is going to change? What's going to change with Rich Rodriguez?
Everything.
What's
a full recruiting class for one thing.
He's improved his.
He hasn't improved.
Yeah.
That's not enough improvement.
Adam,
you're telling me that going 5-7 overall, then 7-6 in 2010 overall, not to mention 1-7 in 2009, which he went down as far as improvement goes in 2009 in the Big Ten, because in 2008 he was 2-6.
Okay.
This past season is 3-5.
You're getting away from the original statement.
Let me finish. He got blown out again by Ohio State. He got dismantled by Michigan State, the 2 biggest rivals. If he would have won either one of those games, that could have saved his job, but he didn't. And he didn't even make those games competitive.
You made a statement. 3 years. Our argument was 5 years in college. It's always been 5 years in college. It's been the standard. Every college coach that goes to a university, almost 95 to 98% of the time, signs a 5-year contract, and there's a reason for that.
If they
Notre Dame, for the first time in their history,
got
rid of a guy inside of 5 years. It's always 5 years because that's how long it takes to turn a program around in college. It isn't the NFL. There are no free agents in college.
No,
unless you're in the SEC.